from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And today we are going to look at what is blocking your blessings. You can apply this to financial blessings. You can apply this to anything you've been asking for or trying to receive. But we're going to look at what is blocking it. We're using my obstacles removed spread so that we can get a full understanding of how to handle this and how to move through this energy. So the first position in this spread is just the general energy. So let's look at the general energy of what is blocking your blessings right now. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and it's coming out in its reversal position. So in this Ace of Pentacles, we see this hand that's ready to receive this pentacle. We also see roses here coming in too. So there is a feeling that possibly your finances and love in your life are connected in this way. And if it is in reverse, it's showing me that you are literally not open to receiving what is clearly here for you. And this card also represents a fresh start or a new beginning. So potentially not being able to receive something that is waiting for you because you're not able to start fresh or start new in some way. That can be some of the energy that's coming through. But primarily what I'm seeing is there is this probably a withholding energy that you've been experiencing, particularly in regards to love. And this perception of someone keeping something from you or withholding something from you has sort of started you on this path of feeling like you are unable to receive any of your blessings. So there's some element of that is coming through here. Let's look at what the actual block or obstacle is. We are getting here the Nine of Wands. So this is a card of victim mentality, isolation, licking your wounds, healing, exhaustion. You've fought a lot of battles. You've taken yourself off to the side to sort of nurse your wounds at this time. And this is what is blocking you. So if you are isolating yourself, it's funny. I had a question yesterday on Medium Chat, someone asking me, if there was love coming into their life. And I asked them, are you dating? Are you seeing other people? And they said, no, I'm not dating on purpose. And I was like, well, if you're not open to dating, then you're waiting for someone particular. So when you're asking me the question, is love coming into my life? What you mean is a person that I'm thinking of who will love me coming into my life. But if you were open to any offers at all, then you would be able to receive what it is you desire. So isolating yourself from opportunities, from people, from the potential of getting hurt again, and also just being really tired of the healing process, feeling like you've been doing this for a long time and you're just exhausted. And like it's this feeling of, is it ever going to end? Because this is the 9 and we have to get to the 10 in order to be completed with something. So a feeling of like, am I ever going to be healed enough? Is this ever going to happen? But it's you actively resisting moving from this isolation energy into the 10 of Wands, where you actually share the burdens. So you're trying to take on a lot of things just all on your own. And you also kind of feel like a victim of circumstance. These certain things are happening to me because of, whatever limiting beliefs you have. You're like, this is why this is not happening, because people like me, insert whatever story it is. You've got a victim mentality. The TikTok algorithm, I'm thinking of my own things that I think like, well, it's not working out because of X, Y, or Z. But really you're isolating yourself. And you did it out of necessity. You were exhausted from basically, I think, consistently putting yourself out there to try to receive this pentacle and not receiving it. But you were trying to get it from the wrong place. So where did this block originate? Where did this block originate? Okay. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is a card that is often associated with the twin flame journey. It's associated with asking for something and then having to wait for it to happen. It's one of the most restless cards in the deck. It is a Mars in Aries energy. So this is a feeling of a lot, like very strong resistance, restlessness, trying to do it yourself. A fear of vulnerability comes through in this card a lot too. It's an aggressive energy also. So, and we can see the burning desire here to conquer this world here. So where this block originates probably has something to do with the twin flame storyline, if this is a romantic blessing that you're blocking. Being fixated on this one particular path or spiritual journey. Feeling like you need to plan or strategize when in reality the gift of this card is that there is nothing you can do. You don't need to plan or strategize because spirit, source, your higher self, whatever that is, it's taken over from you, and now it's going to do the work for you to bring about the ship coming in the Three of Wands, which then takes you to the Four of Wands, which is that stable celebratory energy that you're seeking. So this block originates from you asking for something, and then instead of surrendering to the faith that's required to move from the Two of Wands to the Three of Wands, trying to make it happen for yourself. Trying to do anything you can to make this happen, to open up to receive these blessings, when in fact all you have to do to open or to be in a receptive energy is to simply be. It's so hard to accept that because we are in a society that really pushes the doing and the action, and if you want something, then you're gonna throw your whole self into it, you're gonna do it as hard as you can, kind of an energy. But in order to receive something, you actually have to stop and you have to be. So if you meditated today and focused on the signals from your body, you would probably receive more of these blessings than if you laid out a 6-point plan for marketing your site, kind of an energy. Like you've done everything you've needed to do, but you just haven't allowed this to happen. You've been really pushing to try to make it happen yourself. Wow, okay. How is this currently manifesting in the 3D? Very frustratingly, it is giving us the Five of Swords. We've got a feeling of mental conflict. I'm seeing this eye, and all these swords are pointing towards it here. So there's this stressful feeling that's going on. There's this feeling of being surrounded and just really wanting to give up. Like I'm getting this sense of thinking about like the recession is happening and all these horrible things are happening in society. I'm pulling right from my own experience. And so, what right do I have to receive blessings when all this hell is breaking loose, and just really having a lot of mental conflict about what you've even asked for. Then we're seeing the Five of Discs. This is being completely in lack or in poverty, and really feeling like you have nothing, like you're in the cold. There's this void here. We're seeing the eye in both of these images. So I'm feeling there's a lot of watching going on. You're just like watching these very stressful things unfold that make you want to give up. You're feeling lack. You're feeling there's this sanctuary that you can't enter, that you can't get to because you're stuck in this void, and you're trying to fill the void in some way. And then we're getting here the Prince of Swords, which is a card of the painful truth, facing the painful truth. It's an energy of recklessness, of rushing things. So it's almost like, it's also about truth. It's an integrity, doing something in your integrity, and it's about following a strategy or a plan. So you might be like trying to see what everyone else is doing and like follow that course of action, but you're not coming up on anything. It's not resulting in, prosperity or these blessings. And so you just feel like giving up. But I'm feeling so much stress here, so much being stuck in the head space, really just needing to get out of your head. Because what you're doing is you're seeing the 3D. The 3D is showing you your what you've constantly been thinking about. And you've constantly been thinking about the recession and the destruction and the devaluation of money and the inflammation, and maybe in some cases inflation, the banks failing, the social unrest, the disconnected society, the social media, the negative side effects of social media. This is what you're seeing. And you're telling yourself, this is the truth. This is the truth. All the other things I was thinking, that was delusion. Me being able to have this beautiful, blessed life, that was just like escapism. You're trying to be really real with yourself. And remember that Saturn has just moved into Pisces too, which is a get real type of a moment where you look at all those fantasies and delusions and you're like, now I have to really do something. So there's this pressure, this heaviness from the Saturn energy too, that makes you feel this pressure to like face the world the way it is, embrace the mundane, and just push through that discomfort. But the blessing of Pisces is that you're meant to go with the flow more. So resisting this like hyper realistic energy, because remember, you're looking at the 3D that you've created through your thoughts that are fear based. And you know, I saw somebody say there's all these dimensions, right? And there is an earth plane where we're healing from these things, and there's an earth plane where we're focused entirely on those things. And so it's like choosing a new way of looking at what's going on around us. I saw a thing today about how during the Great Depression in America is when many of the current massive businesses and corporations that are now starting to kind of feel the pain of the last few decades of complete greed and everything, and how and all the old world things that have to shift and change because of, you know, AI and the digital realm and all these things, they're kind of falling apart. And the Great Depression really disrupted the American economy. It was one of the times where we made new rules, we redefined certain aspects of society. And so if you look at what's going on right now, less of these apocalyptic ways, and you think the apocalypse is happening to the old world. Are you going to be part of the old world and sort of fight and rail against what has always been? Or are you going to embrace the new world and start to look and see what new rules are coming and shift and pivot to be part of the new economy and part of the next phase? And it's really a choice that you need to make. So if you're looking at this in terms of finances, this is forging a new path that's not focused on the old models that you had for yourself, the way that you thought you were going to make money. It's like, let that go and be open to new avenues. So what will help me remove this block? What will help me remove this block? Okay. I am psychic. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands and the Sun card. The Queen of Wands is that bitch who holds a vision, the vision that she wants of her reality. And look at the reality she's holding this vision of. It's the sun. It's the most auspicious card. It's joyful and blissful. It's happy. It's a paradise. Instead of looking at things as like everything's falling apart and we're all going to die, it might be like everything's falling apart. It's requiring us to see new ways. We're going to start to fix and heal the wounds in society rather than ignore them, because we can't ignore them anymore. Now they're so blatant. Now we can see that things need to be done, and now it's up to us to hold a vision of what needs to be done. So if you have a passion, if you have something that you really love to do, it's knowing that you're called in that direction and that there is a new way for you to do those things, and you just have to hold the vision of receiving what you desire from this new perspective, from this enlightened place. So you need to bring enlightenment to your current vision. So if your current vision has been about receiving love, for instance, and you've been fixated on this old, like the twin flame dynamic that all of the readers on TikTok perpetuate, and you're recognizing that that isn't serving you, then you need to have a new paradigm that you're holding the vision for. And you are the creator of that reality. You are setting those new rules and regulations for yourself. And the same thing is happening financially. Whatever you thought, you were confident about was going to result in a big return, you have to understand that you still have this gift, this talent, this passion, and it's just going to what's going to happen is going to be new. It's not going to be like the way that you initially thought, and you have to be confident and excited about that and passionate about it. She's got many arms here also. So this is being multifaceted, not having just one way of it being open to receive, but being open to receive in multiple ways, multiple avenues. In terms of receiving love and affection, opening up to not just partnership, but also from your friendships. In terms of finances, having some come in from here, some come in from there. And then look at how the eyes are here again on these pyramids. So in the 3D, they were seeing stress, they were seeing like pain. It was causing us a lot of conflict. But in this image, they're seeing beauty and abundance, and they're seeing the truth, really, that Knight of Swords was trying to bring in, because it is true that there is plenty. There is always enough. Things are always working out for you. Really start to see the world through that lens. Because seeing it the other way, is it helping you? Like, do you feel like that's helping you right now receive blessings? Because feeling like this victim of current circumstances is really blocking your blessings. So who or what should I release to move on? Who or what should I release to move on? Princess of Discs. This is the Page of Pentacles energy. It's in a reversal. So it's this reluctance to just start moving, even if it's only small steps. It's like feeling like if I just do a little bit each day, it's not going to amount to much. So really feeling like the truth is actually that it is the little things you do each day that do actually build up. I was thinking about how I recently watched a documentary about GameStop, the one it's on Netflix, but it's about the stock prices and that whole kerfluffle that happened. And it was talking about how Robinhood, which is the investment app that sort of perpetrated some of this experience for people for the day traders, how they made their money. And the way that they made their money is they would take the bids and they would give it to this third party, this market. God damn it, I can't remember any of the terms. I just block them out after I watch something that has to do with money or math. But there would be this third party who would actually do the trades on the floor for them. And then that third party would basically take one share that was sold and one that was bought, pass them back and forth, and they would take these little fractional cents as their transaction fee for this service that they were doing for Robinhood. Robinhood would get, like, if it was 4 cents per transaction, Robinhood would get 3 cents, and the market trader company would get 1 cent. And you're like, 1 cent? But then if you look at the billions of trades that happen each day, you're looking at actually billions of dollars in revenue from these transactions. So these tiny little fractions added up to these massive amounts of wealth. And so releasing the idea that, if you make little changes, it's not going to make a big change. It is going to make a change. And the other thing is that motion is going to create motion. So doing a little bit is going to cause you to do a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. In terms of receiving love or some kind of gesture, this is letting go of anybody who's not giving you very much of anything at all. If you have somebody that's not willing to give you a physical, real world gesture, just letting them go for now. And letting them go, people are like, well, how can I do that? It's impossible. I understand. Letting someone go just means that you're not constantly fixated upon them, fixating your energy. It's like, I'm going to give this person as much energy as they give me. So if your person is not giving you any energy, than when you go to give them energy, which means you go to check their social media, or you go to, write them a text message. I want you to take a step back from that action and ask yourself, what physical gesture has this person made that would equal my time and energy in this context? Like, has this person given me something recently that would constitute my giving this person energy? Most of the time you're going to get a no. No, they haven't. They haven't given me enough energy for me to give them energy. So in that way, you just let go of the desire to give to them, and you say, okay, if I still want to give to them an hour from now, I have to give myself something that is of equivalent value before I give to them. So if you're going to look at their social media and spend time observing them, then I want you to give that same energy to your business, or a book that you really love, or your passion that you're really interested in. So if you're going to spend 25 minutes creeping on their social media, then you have to commit the same amount of time to doing something for yourself. Taking a bath, feeding yourself a nourishing meal, doing some kind of a self-care activity. You need to give yourself just as much time and energy. Now, I predict that as you start doing those things for yourself, taking that time to be alone with yourself, to give yourself the energy, soon the desire to give to somebody else is going to start to fade, because what you want that person to do is give you time and energy. And you want that because you're not giving yourself time and energy. And you're attracting people who don't give you time and energy because you feel your time and energy is only worth receiving if you've given it to someone else first. You have to build this belief, this self-confidence from that Queen of Wands, that you deserve to receive just as much as you give, and that people will give it to you spontaneously. And the only way for that to happen is for you to start doing that. So that is who or what you should release to move on. So what can you learn from this current pause, this feeling of being stuck? We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. The Eight of Swords is all about being in this prison of your thoughts and really easily being able to leave it, but not choosing to do so. You have to make the choice to stop thinking the way that you've been thinking. We protect ourselves because we're afraid of what will happen if we don't. I saw something that said recently that a therapist told their patient, the reason you self-sabotage is because you know what's going to happen, and then it gives you the illusion of control. And that was like across the face. So the reason that you protect yourself from something that you want happening is because you know the feeling of what it not happening feels like, and that gives you this feeling that you're going to be able to control your reactions to it because you've already done that before, right? The brain is designed to survive, not to thrive. So you're learning how to let go of this prison of limiting beliefs, the idea that you need to protect yourself from what you desire, from being successful, from the blessings that you're supposed to receive. And to acknowledge that a lot of times you are setting yourself up for disappointment because it is giving you the illusion of control. If you know how that person that you're focused on is going to react when you send them a message and they're not going to respond, you're already mentally prepared to face the feelings associated with that interaction. So you have this sense that you're controlling what's going on. It's like the reason why people watch horror movies. People watch horror movies because there's a lot of scary things, scary unknown things in our environment, in the dark, in the things that are going on in society. But when you contain that, your those fearful things on a screen or in a storybook or something, you are controlling. You can shut it off. You can look away. You can tell yourself it's not real. There's ways for you to manage the stress and fear that you are willingly experiencing, so you have the illusion of control. I have a theory right now that a lot of people who like horror probably come from households with a lot of traumatic wounding, and horror gives them a sense of control that they didn't have in their real lives. Same with true crime. What can I look forward to once this obstacle is removed? Well, look at that. We have the Knight of Pentacles. This is stable, solid, reliable, forward-moving energy. It is slow and steady. It's not like a fast-paced change. I keep seeing a ton of readings that are like, you're going to get everything ever wanted, and it's going to happen really fast. And the reason why I'm seeing those readings is because they have hundreds and thousands of views, millions in some cases. They're coming up in our TikTok feeds because they're very popular messages, because people want things to change instantly. They want instant gratification. But things that move slowly and steadily and are progressing, even if it's a slow progress, witnessing the changes, witnessing the progress, even if it's just like, wow, I was able to save X amount of money, or wow, I was able to do this month, or wow, I received some kind of a gesture. But it was a solid material one. It wasn't, some kind of ethereal thing that I needed to get a tarot reading about. It was real. It was tangible. I could touch it. I could feel it. It's motivating, right? It's, as you're seeing progress in the physical, you're feeling very motivated to keep going. All right, let's get a little bit of guidance from my oracle decks. So what advice do we have from the Prism Oracle that will help us release this obstacle of the Nine of Wands? Abundance. Yep, that's what the whole reading is about. Just, could have been any one of these cards, but it's this card. So first of all, green is the color of relaxation. So what I said to do earlier, and look how the lights have come on since I started this reading. That's the ghosty in my room saying hello, by the way. So what I was saying before about just being open to receive, just meditating, being, doing something that feels good, enjoying your day, that's something that is really going to bring about this openness to receiving. So the color of relaxation, bounty, and even love, which is coming from this very first image we had here of the Ace of Pentacles, the general energy of not being able to receive what is already there. And we see these green, this growth, we see the love, we see the bounty, right? So just restoring your faith, knowing that any card could have come out of this deck, but it was this one, okay? It's the color correlated with the heart energy center. It can represent love, and also, on the flip side of that, jealousy. In color magic, green is often used as a supportive color for enhancing feelings of calm and restoration. It is also literally easy on the eyes, as it's the easiest color for us to see on the visible spectrum. Green is also tied to nature and growth. After all, what makes plants green, chlorophyll, is also what allows them to support energy from the sun into new life. Now that's very interesting because the sun was really here. This is allowing us to receive energy and new life. So I'm actually seeing you get outside into the sun. Now I am living in a miserably wintry place right now, but the sun still shines, and anytime that the sun is out, I am out there with Bowie and I'm just standing there and soaking it up, even if it's freezing. So get into the sun, receiving the sun, helping your body to process vitamin D. There's different apps on your phone that actually help you to know what time of day is best to go outside, and you can keep track of how much sun you're getting. And the app that I use is called D-Minder. So you can download that app, D-Minder, and do some research on exposure to the sun and how it can help you, because I have a feeling it's going to be very important for you right now. This abundance card says, while this card depicts coins, it is important to remember that abundance can come in many forms, like love, friendship, career, and family, not just monetary abundance. This card asks you to recognize and celebrate the abundance that is in your life, along with the deep sense of gratitude that comes along with it. So I know that you're supposed to feel grateful every day and focus on what you're grateful for and be thankful. I know that you know that. So I'm just helping to remind you of that right now. And maybe you can connect going out in the sun with a gratitude practice. So there is not sun right now. It's cloudy, but the sun is still shining. So one of the things I could do is I could work on my gratitude practice every time I take my dog, Bowie, outside. So every time I go outside, I can really take a few moments to be grateful for certain things. And maybe I write down a few things and have like a little prayer that I repeat every time I'm outside and get into the habit of feeling grateful for that experience. Even if it's raining, the sun is still there. That's just, you have to remember that. It never goes away. Let's get a spirit animal oracle to support you in removing this obstacle. What will help you remove this obstacle? This and that are true. Dolphin spirit. It is number 20. Dolphin spirit, like her earthly manifestation, is a reminder of duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit both this and that. Two truths coexist. The story you tell and another as well. The duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing too in the helpers that appear. Within clouds are silver linings, I just talked about. When we later reflect on what happened, we can see that a situation was both this and that, and a choice led to both joy and sorrow. No relationship is either all good or all bad, and people have qualities of both light and shadow. Focus on the positive, for light exists alongside the darkness. Dolphin spirit calls for you to come up from below and enjoy a weightless moment in the sun as you dive in and out of this and then that, accepting and even enjoying the duality of life. Why not join Dolphin Spirit in acknowledging and affirming the blessings present in this moment? In all areas of your life, there are aspects of both this and that. Today you can celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present as you move toward the new self you are becoming. Aspects of both selves are present, so even if you want to say goodbye to what was, you are required to find solace in this between time. Today is not a day to choose one over another, but rather to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. Wow. This is the cards absolutely bringing it today. And saying exactly what we need to hear, which, pretty good at that with these cards. All right, let's get our wisdom of the oracle message today. What will help us remove this block? So far we have gratitude, acceptance of this and that being true, and also gratitude because it said in that passage as well. What else will help us? Poised. The protection message, number 48. This is saying, you are not ready to move forward at this time, and that has to be okay. Be poised in the face of demands and deadlines. Pretending you know what you're doing works sometimes, but if you adopt a fake it till you make it attitude, it will land you in some muck right now. This is not the time to wing it and deliver something half finished. It's okay to postpone things until you are really ready. It is better to disappoint others now than to wish you had later. So, this is just a message of you need some of that time. Remember, the outcome is slow progress. So, you have to embrace that while you may want to rush things with this Prince of Swords energy, rushing things along, trying to get things to work, throwing things at the wall, seeing if they're going to stick, that is giving you a lot of mental conflict, anxiety, and a whole lot of nothing. You're not getting any results. And it's actually taking quite a lot of energy to do all that, like, okay, I have to do this. I have to put all my eggs in this basket. I have to do this. I have to do that. Just take your time and let yourself learn what you need to learn. The this and that are true is knowing that there's a past version of yourself that is leaving and there's a new version of yourself that's coming in, and you're kind of in the gap right now. And if you try to make things happen in the gap, you might bring some of that past energy into your future. But if you just be right now, go out into the sun, express gratitude for what you have, for the progress you have made, you're going to bring yourself into an energy that's more prepared for this next phase that you're supposed to be in. And I don't like being told to wait any more than you do. So I understand that that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that what you want is going to happen very quickly, like all those popular tarot readings that you're getting in your feed. Create art. Okay. This is your self-care for this obstacle. In order to remove this victim mentality, this exhaustion, this isolation energy, you need to step into this energy of creating art. It is number 17. Your mantra right now is, I am an artist creating a masterpiece that is called my life. So I'm going to say that again in case you want to write it down. I am an artist creating a masterpiece that is called my life. We are all artists, creators of the lives we're leading, and many works of art within them. To gain more confidence in your inner artist, look for opportunities to create art for your own pleasure. For your own pleasure, not for sale, not for the pleasure of other people, but just for your own pleasure. Consider signing up for a local art workshop or gather some supplies to create art at home. If you're unsure where to start, try representing your surroundings, favorite things, or current state artistically. When you're ready to go deeper, express a feeling or a memory you'd like to transmute or connect with through art. You can keep your creation simple by drawing with a pen and paper, or be more elaborate and colorful with paint, sculpture, or mixed media. You can even be creative about the way in which you create art by using natural props such as leaves, branches, and stones. Even rock stacking by the river is a form of art. Feel into which artistic modality will allow you to express yourself in the most meaningful way. And art obviously includes music, it includes interior design, it includes food. There's so many different ways of making art. This is so freaking amazing. Your journal prompt for this obstacles removed reading is, what blocks, real or imagined, stop you from making art? And what practical steps can you take to work through these blocks? One that just popped into my head that's probably common for a lot of people is time. I don't have time. I don't have the space. I don't have the supplies. I don't have the support. Like if your kids are running around and you're like, well, I have to take care of my kids. Da, 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 da. Do you know how much kids like to do art? Kids love to do art. You could be making art with your kids. You can include them in that process. So we have a lot of go-to blocks. I can't come up with anything is one. Like, I don't know what to make. If you don't know what to make, go online, Google art project, look at a few things, grab one that catches your interest, copy it. Just copy it. As you start to copy something, you inevitably start to add your own perspective into whatever you're copying. All right, that concludes this beautiful reading of what is blocking our blessings and removing those obstacles today. If you'd like a version of this reading, please go ahead and click the description box below. Sign up for a one-on-one reading, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. And if you are interested in sending a donation for these free readings that I do, I would really appreciate receiving one. I'm trying to come up with about $2,000 for my move that's happening mid-April, and I need your help to get there. Booked readings and donations are the best way to help me. And I'm also coming up with some content that I'm hoping to be able to release to you at that time too, to sort of boost my sales a little bit and help me get to where I need to go. I'm going, whether I have the money to do it or not. So you just have the opportunity to make that transition as smooth as possible for me, because I will not be staying in this space anymore, and I am not going to keep staying in the Nine of Wands in complete isolation in the middle of nowhere. I am going to move somewhere a little bit more hoppin'. So if you're interested in helping me do that, please click that link, and you'll find Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, as well as different readings you can book. Also, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel. You're sharing my content. You can do energetic things that will help my channel grow, even envisioning me having a smooth transition or receiving an abundance. Even if you just close your eyes and envision that that's what's happening for me right now, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day today. I will see you tomorrow for the Friday love reading. And I just felt like doing a bonus reading today, so I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.